a major question he has, isn't it? He asks, what should I do at the time of death? And then bless me so that I will be born among people who are devotees, and also I would, where I can connect myself with all the living beings, and where I would be always engaged in the love for Lord. Ithral Moor, he puts these things. So this is a common thing for all of us, I mean most of us, because having entered into spiritual line, uh, what should be our mental state at the time of death? Why it is important? We discussed that the psychology or the mind or the mental state or the thoughts are extremely important at the time of death, because that will decide how you are going to be born in the next birth, where you are going to be born, where you will be born, how you will be born, which species you will be born. That is also correct. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಜನ್ಮ, getting this human life is very, very rare, very with great difficulty you have come to this life. Because of some good karma in the past, we have come to this human life. They say the opportunity to take birth as a human being is because in the past life something good you have done, and now that we are enjoying the benefits, if we don't do that, I mean if we don't utilize further, if we don't evolve further, then there is every chance that you will be regressing in your evolution. Regressing means even if you follow Darwin's theory, you may go back to lower species, which the modern science will not, of course, agree. But this is a fact, because the evolution in the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Purana in our Indian Vedic system, I mean Upanishads, they all they refer to not only the physical evolution but the mental evolution in terms of good attributes, good karma, which we accumulate during our birth. Very, very difficult. After a long time, we may be born now, several thousands years. We don't know about it, but it may be. So, having come to this life, the purpose is to love God, they say, who is our originator. That because this system is like that. The system is generated in a way where we are given free will, and Jivatma resides in us, and we are all called Jivas. The whole system is, we have to be understanding this and implement that. In the sense, we must understand the purpose is to do good to people, think good of people, and to evolve by chanting Lord. Bhagavad Purana is full of bhakti. So we have crossed that do good, be good, get good, all that we have done that. We have assumed that we have done. Now we have to go beyond that. Apart from doing good, you must have greatest attachment to the Lord only. Everybody will come next. Or if you have attachment to people, it is only with the thought that they are manifestations of the divine. Therefore, I am attached to them. It is not for the person or for the physical attraction or something, anything. I mean, physical attraction or physical attachment also, whether it is a spouse or the parents or the friends or children. It is not because they are related to me by this body. Pratibha's children, Pratibha's husband, Pratibha's parents. No, it is not like that. We should start thinking that they are all manifestations of the divine being. And therefore, I love everybody. I love everybody. All of us are made up of the same clay, and every person I am seeing God. So this is the way we should start thinking. And that is the purpose of life. Uh, we are ignorant. To some extent, we have learned, we have done our homework in the past, and therefore I keep telling, because of which we have the attachment to these such things, which makes us come here, assemble here, and somewhere that attraction is there to the Lord. So that is very good, and we are indeed blessed. With that, we commence with Skanda 2. So now Shuka comes. If you recollect, Shuka is the greatest Muni, is the greatest saint of those times, of any time, if you say. In fact, he's son of Vedavyasa, but he has surpassed him in terms of his spiritual knowledge, and he is a Jnani, Brahma Jnani only. He always lives in that plane of Brahma Tattva or Atma Bhava. He goes beyond that. But then today he says, in spite of, meditating on the absolute, and Padmini was asking, Jnana Yogi, these have all conquered their distractions, conquered their desires, and they have reached the highest state of samadhi, turiya, whatever we call. In spite of that, he says, when I heard my father teach me, when my father told me about Bhagavad, I started rejoicing the glory of God, because he has reached that state. He has become one with that universal super consciousness, bliss, Sachidananda. He has seen that, he has realized. But still, when that bhakti aspect came, he says, I rejoiced. So now, to begin with, Shuka tells Parikshit, you have asked a very good question, and this will go on record. He says, this will go on record, and not only that, this will benefit everybody in the Kali Yuga. Whoever is going to listen to this Bhagavad Purana, it's going to affect other, because we need to discuss about all this. Otherwise, there is no way for the ordinary human being to relieve himself of suffering, because they are so ignorant. Half the time they sleep in their life, half of the time goes in sleeping and sexual activities and desires. Remaining part of the day, another half during the day, what do? They keep working for money. Money. Ivaglo hange ide alla. Daytime ಅಲ್ಲಿ today's generation, 12 hours, 14 hours, they keep working. Why do they work? How many of them really work for the benefit of society? No, majority work for earning money. Majority of the companies are making want money. Very few are, of course there is a CSR and corporate social responsibility ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. But by and large, the entire world is moving towards making money only. Money. So therefore he says, where is the time when they are young, they are involved in active studies, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದಾಗ ಓದು, otherwise they play. And then when they grow, again they are studying or higher education, whatever. Once they finish that, grahastha, take care of the family, work for money, that's all. And when they become old, there is no time to do any meditation or anything. They become old, they become deceased. So where is the time? So unless we think of, see, actually when we become very old, we start thinking, why did I waste my time? When I was young, I should have done better. So now it's the time, as soon as we understand, it's a time for us to see how best we can utilize our time, so that our last few days of our life become very meaningful. Because they say that a person's greatness is known by the last few days of his life. So we have seen in the previous chapter how when Parikshit decided that he will end, another 7 days are left for him, so many rishis come over there. They all come there to bless. Rishis who are on the Bhuvarloka, Tapoloka, Devaloka, everywhere. They all come on to this earth and to bless him. And so also Shukamuni, because this is historical. Because of Shukamuni, today Shukamuni and Parikshit's conversations, we have Bhagavad Purana. So Parikshit was well known. He has led his life in a very meaningful way. Remembering God, remembering his forefathers, expressing gratitude to his forefathers without any ego, and remembering God and doing good things for his countrymen, for his society. He lived. In the end, it was the time for him. So therefore, Kali actually enters and everything becomes, well orchestrated, so that we all understand through him how we should lead our life and what should be the bhakti. So he says, good, you have asked this. And all the, so now most of the people, they know that this is perishable. What is perishable? The house, the family, the children. But because of the attachment and infatuation, they are not able to get over it. And they become always in distress, restless, and fearful. Therefore, all pervading Hari means God, Vishnu, or Parabrahma, whomever you call, has to be praised and remembered, and so that they become fearless. Abhaya anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, fearless. Why they have told fearless is there is no insecurity actually. When you start chanting the name, we can take it as insecurities also. Today, the entire world is going towards mental health problems because of this insecurity, depression, anxiety, restlessness, all everything is because of insecurity. So when you chant, very easy way in Kali Yuga is to remember him, chant him, very easy, no, because that will reduce your ego and you can surrender and he will take over. In fact, have you all started, I mean, are you all following Kumbh Mela proceedings by any chance? Nodiri YouTube nalli? Some people keep sending. No? There is one IIT Baba's interview. Have you seen that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
IIT, Abhay Singh. His name is Abhay Singh. So there is one, I think I'll forward that. It is interviewed by somebody from Rajasthan News, some Rajasthan channel. That fellow has asked, there he says, what is your suggestion for the younger generation? Do you think everybody should become Sadhu Baba like you? He says, no, not required, because he's also not Sadhu, he's a Baba. He's yet to become a saint, but very deep knowledge. If you get a chance, listen to his words. Excellent they are. Very, very mature thing. I am very curious, so I keep listening. In one of them, he says, it's actually at the 19th minute. I noted down the time also. He says, when he went through depression, he says, Samarpan. What is the guidance you want to give to the younger generation? Very clearly, he says, Atma Samarpan. You have to surrender. Why did you get into this spiritual path? He says, because did IIT, I did so many courses, and I went into depression. So then I started thinking, man, kya cheez hoti hai, bhai? What is his mind? So when he starts exploring, when he starts getting into spiritual scriptures, then he identifies, now he is very learned man. So he says for younger generation, for everybody, Atma Samarpan is the way for any of us to get rid of our difficulties or mental challenges. So he says, we must understand that attachment uh, we must give up. And then he says, though I was contemplating throughout on the Nirakara Parabrahma, when my father told me about Bhagavat, when he taught me Bhagavata, then I understood when I listened to his Leela. Uh, then I said, yes, this is the thing which should be told to so many people, and this is wonderful occasion for me to, you know, propound the glory of God and message. Let us spread this. Let me spread this message through this conversation. And he says, similarly, King Khatwanga also knew that his death was approaching. Khatwanga anta ಒಬ್ಬ ರಾಜ ಇದ್ನಂತೆ. Khatwanga, he was the king in the one of the famous king of Bharatavarsha. Bharata. He belonged to the clan of Rama only. So he was very, very powerful, and he used to lead just like Janaka Raja. He used to lead the kingdom with great maturity, just like Parikshit. And but he also knew that the goal of life is not ruling this. This is expression of divinity, but the real thing is I must attain spiritual God realization. He knew that. So he was doing his activities like a proper Kshatriya king. He ruled and he is very famous. But then what happens is once the Devas and Asuras, they have a fight. Always the Devas and Asuras, they keep fighting. We have heard about this, no? And Samudra Manthan, Mohini Avatara, all that came because of Asuras and Devas. So one more instance, always there is fight. And just like our mind, no, good and bad. So similar to that. So Khatwanga was brought, the Indra and all approached him. Why don't you help us? So Khatwanga was taken to the Devaloka. He defeated the Asuras. And then the Devas ask him a question. What do you want? Very cleverly he says, please let us know. He will not ask for worldly things. I need so many elephants, so many soldiers, nothing like that. What he asks is, I want to know when will I die? What is the time of death? Similar to Parikshit. Parikshit was cursed, but Khatwanga was blessed. So immediately Devas say, you're going to die immediately in one muhurta. Muhurta means 45 minutes, it seems. Some references say 25 minutes. They say you're going to die in few minutes. Look at his mental condition. Immediately he just dropped his kingdom, everything, and he sits for meditating. He comes down to earth, and then some people say that took some time, few minutes. And whatever time he had, whatever little time he was already practicing the meditation, everything throughout his life. He was remembering God all through his life. He understood the objective of his life. What is the objective of his life, of our life, or everybody's life, humanity? To attain this liberation, spiritual realization. Good things come as a side effect, I told you. But the goal is always spiritual realization. So, and singing the glories of Lord, surrendering your ego, all that he used to do. So, in that 12, 13 minutes, he sat, he meditated, and he got liberation. So, Shukacharya says, this was how Khatvanga also achieved liberation. And now you have 7 days. So, when death approaches, what one should do, we discussed in the last session what each one of us will do. Anta, we have discussed. So they say, first cut off all the attachment. First is when you come to know, actually, Ananta Krishna Acharya. So references, I should say, Swami Tapasyananda, Ananta Krishna Acharya. Today I have taken few things from Sadhguru also about pranayama. I'll come to that. So he says, what he says is, man should really, give up all the attachment. He should be unperturbed and he should be fearless. Attachment is a very peculiar thing. And what this Acharya says, our commentators, other commentators also, we don't know when we are going to die, but it is not a fact, it seems. Whenever we die, there is a premonition. So people who are dying will come to know approximately something will start, it seems. So there is a time given by the creator, to plan your few, just like Khatvanga. Ivaga 2-3 days or 2-3, when my father passed away, he used to tell me, after that I've observed others also. He said, I saw my father, I saw my mother, my father came and blessed me. That happened in a way. Indira nimgo hang ansta, nim parents death agbekadre. Did you hear any such things?
ನಮ್ ತಂದೆ ಆತರ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅದು ಒಂದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಡೆತ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಮೈ ಮದರ್ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೀಮ್ಸ್ ದೇ somehow have that premonition. So when you get that is a time to prepare. Even if we have not done all the days, at least we can revive. So somebody was telling this joke. There was another YouTube, I keep listening to these such lectures. You can also listen. ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರು ಇಡ್ತಾರಂತೆ, ರಾಮ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, itara. So that when you're dying, you will call their names. And then so you ಸಾಯ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಸರಂತೂ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಕೈ ನೋಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬಾರೋ ಪ್ರದ್ಯುಮ್ನ, ಬಾರೋ ಅನಿರುದ್ಧ, ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ದೇವ್ರ ಹೆಸರು ಇಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅ ಜನರಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. Even if you don't remember God, at least by chanting, that's how Ajamila, we have seen that, isn't it? So there was some old man who had named his children as, Rama, Krishna, Pradyumna, like that. And then at the time of his death, he was a big businessman, it seems. So when at the time of his death, he says, Krishna, Appa ille idini, I'm here only. Pradyumna, Dad, I'm here. Aniruddha, Dad, I'm here. Rama, Dad, I'm here. So everybody thought, see, he's remembering all the children because he is chanting God's name. Then he says, if all of you are here, who should sit in the shop? If all of you are here, who should be there in the shop? And look at the attachment. He knows he's dying. So this is how attachment will give, it will cheat us, as particularly at the time of death. Another thing my mother used to say, one old man was dying, it seems. In Marathi ಒಳಗೇನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ. ಅದೇ ಅವನು ಮಲ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ನಂತೆ, ಅವನು he was having stroke, he couldn't speak. ಸೊ ಏನೋ ತೊದಲ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಂತೆ, ವಾವಾ ಕೇಕೆ, ವಾವಾ ಕೇಕೆ, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, nobody could understand. Everybody has come, his sons, grandsons, daughters-in-law, everybody is standing around trying to understand. Maybe they wanted to ask probably property ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ, ಅದವ್ರದ್ದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. But this man, some people, each one has their own perspective, isn't it? When an elderly man is dying, whether he wants water, ನೀರ್ ತಂದು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಂತ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. Then his wife came and there she understood when she told, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಸು ಕಸಬರ್ಗೆ ನುಂಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ. The cow is eating the broomstick. Go attend to that ante ಸಾಯಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅವನ್ ತಾನ್ ಸಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. He is worried about that broomstick. The broomstick is getting spoiled. The cow is eating that broomstick. Go and take care of that. And so if you are not, I mean, if you are still in the worldly affairs, if you are so much engrossed, this is what happens with majority of the people, then nothing will help, nothing will come to your rescue in old age unless you have developed at least that bent of mind. Only then. So otherwise what happens, whatever you think during the old age, that same thing will be carried on. If you are thinking of luxuries, you'll be born into a luxurious family, but then it comes with its own baggage. It comes with its baggage. When you are born luxuriously without any spiritual backup, then you can imagine what disastrous life it would be. Entire life that man would be thinking of only worldly things, nothing related to, because he has not done his homework. So therefore he says at the time of death, first thing is give up detachment and just abandon. Now he talks about how you have to sit for meditation. Beautifully he says, abandon first home or something, exactly like how Parikshit did. So if you are not able to abandon home, if you are bedridden, mentally we have to abandon home, just like a sannyasi. If you are fit and if you come to know that my life is coming to an end, although it seems there is premonition, and then take a bath in holy water. So those days they used to go to the rivers. We don't have rivers. Take a shower and then sit in isolation. Put one mat, and then he says, start contemplating and chant Om, Pranava. Three elements of Om they define. Om, alva? Om. Om is a, it's a Bija mantra. Brahmana Bija mantra. The first sound, in fact, even NASA people have demonstrated that the sound that emerged in the Big Bang Theory, the first one that, vibrated everywhere was Om. So he says, chant that and then keep your intellect, buddhi, make it very strong. Just like the charioteer, the intellect should be the driver. It should take, that means the buddhi should control the mind with all random thoughts. All the thoughts should be controlled by buddhi and it should be fixed on the Lord. Once again, I'm telling, underlining, and what Bhagavad Puranics also say, this cannot come only in the old age. It has to be practiced. But that means we can take this suggestion that we must start doing that, right? So once this concentration is obtained, then fix your mind on God's form. Look at this. Shuka is a Jnana Margi, Jnani, but he's now telling everyone, because bhakti, and which is which is easily practicable by an ordinary person. So he says, now you close your eyes and do not try to control the noise which you hear. Totally concentrate on the God's form, and this way, and one of his organs, he says. Now then he says later how to focus. So he says that you focus on his one of his organ, andre either his feet or his, maybe I'm just giving you an example, like Krishna. If you're contemplating on Krishna, either you can focus on his feet or on his hands which hold the flute, or on his eyes, or on his smile. So that way, the concentration, which is called as dharana, even in Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga, this dharana is concentration and keeping the mind in that state for long time. That is called dharana. So this way, you will be able to reach that consciousness bliss. Just concentrate and look at him. He is there within. Look at him. Concentrate on one of his. Anyway, that's what he has specified. Otherwise, you can focus on Krishna. Keep chanting Om as much as possible, and this is what he says. Then he says, how exactly I should practice dharana. So he says, steady posture. Why steady posture? Also today, very beautifully in this skanda, it is described. Steady posture is your neck, your head, your spinal cord in one line, because that helps the flow of energies upwards, downwards. There is much more to this body than what we have actually understood. So that steady posture is important. Then control the prana. Controlling prana means through pranayama, deep breathing. This mind is very, very restless organ. It deviates always. It is trying to uh, yield to different, past memories, or whatever you have seen in the last 1 hour, 2 hours, yesterday, day before, what you have heard. So it is always likely to, get disturbed. When you do pranayama, that controls the wandering of the mind. They say the prana is much more than just breathing. But even if you say it is a deep breathing exercise, when you concentrate on this breath, so automatically the mind will not concentrate on the other things initially, to get deeper into that form of God on whom we are going to do dhyana. First steady posture, then deep breathing, and abandon the attachment. That means even in your mind when it comes, because we are talking about the last few seconds, last few minutes, or last few days, or last few hours. So what is the use of thinking about your people when you are going to leave this body? Absolutely, it makes no sense. So he says abandon that attachment completely. Completely you have to abandon, and fix your mind on the gross form. Gross form is like, as I told, mm, the body. You know instead of thinking about nirakara parabrahma, thoughtlessness, shunya, adu beda anta. Bhagavata is more of, it will start from with form and then it goes to formless. Sakaradinda nirakara. So allivargu it's easy for us to meditate. It is an accepted method, and people do achieve realization and liberation through this meditation, through this type of, means sakara ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಕಾರ ವಿಷ್ಣು, ಸಾಕಾರ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಟೇನ್ ದ ಮೋಕ್ಷ. ಸೊ ಜಿತಾಸನೋ ಜಿತಶ್ವಾಸೋ ಜಿತಸಂಗೋ ಜಿತೇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಸ್ಥೂಲೆ ಭಗವತೋ ರೂಪೆ ಮನಃ ಸಂಧಾರಯೇತ್ ಧಿಯಾ. ಸಂಧಾರಯೇತ್ ಧಿಯಾ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಶುಕ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಜಿತಾಸನೋ, ಜಿತಾಸನೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಸನದ ಮೇಲೆ ಜಿತ, ವಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ದ posture, that you just see how many of you can sit on the floor in a squatting position like this. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಇಂದ್ರ ನೀವು ಕೂಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ? Can you sit? Yeah, good, Chaitali. Anybody else? Or with difficulty? So nobody can sit. Shubha Deepak. Oh, Shubha, not bad. Yoga ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು, strong. Very good. Very excellent. So even for me, it's little difficult today. I mean, I can sit, but sitting with that, I used to do meditation sitting. Now again, after this one, I said, today I was in the temple for almost good, Shubha and Chaitali. So we must practice that, sitting on the floor with squatting. It's very good for health also. Namma body also, physically, it is very, very good actually. So we must practice that. So that is a jitasana. Asanad mele nin control barbeku. Jita Shwaso, pranayama, you should be. Inu ಮುಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ beautifully. He says how to control the breath and the nadi and all those. Jita Sango, Sanga is attachment. So get over the attachment. Jitendriyaha, sense organs. I mean, the distractions. ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. So meditation, if you practice, no, what happens is, uh, uh, if you are throughout the day, let's say every day you meditate for 10 minutes in the morning, you just want to close your eyes, take deep breath, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇವಾಗ, will let us do for 5 minutes. And then what are the thoughts that come on the way? Initially you will get so many thoughts. We should not get disturbed. ಬಂದ್ಬೇಕು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದು. You should not be feeling depressed or feeling restless. You should allow them, but over a period of time it will reduce. Number one, again and again you should bring back the mind to the point of concentration. Another thing is what we do during the entire day. Today 6:30 to 7 I finished my meditation. 7 a.m. to next day 6:30. what I do also affects my meditation, concentration. Tomorrow's concentration will be affected. This is what my Guruji had told when I got trained in meditation. What during the daytime, be calm, be cool, don't react. So as we advance now with age, develop detachment, all that. Otherwise, the same thing will keep haunting, or it's very difficult to get over them. So just let us do little bit, because I thought we used to do no Bhagavad Gita class al ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. All of you close your eyes, and if you are sitting on the chair, just relax. Keep your uh, hands on your thighs with facing upwards. I mean, the palm facing upwards. Keep them like this, facing upwards. Close your eyes. For the next 5 minutes, we shall do meditation. Keep your head, neck, and vertebral column straight as much as possible, as much as you can, without straining much. Now, let us take a deep breath, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. As you breathe, concentrate on your breath. Observe the movement of air within your into your body. As you exhale, again observe the movement outside, which is coming from the body, going out. Now, imagine your Ishtadevata, anybody, or Sri Krishna in your heart. Think of imagine his image with beautiful, handsome face, eyes like lotus petals, totally bloomed out, dusky complexion or bluish complexion, with a crown that has a peacock feather, ears with dangling earrings, jewelry around his neck, then tulsi mala around his neck, tulsi garland. He has a pearl necklace. He holds the flute in his two hands. Very smiling lips, loving and affectionate look. He has worn a silk dhoti, pitambaram, and he has anklets on his legs, feet. Beautiful, adorable Krishna. Look at him. Look at his self illumined image. Surrender. You have a great bondage with him. Surrender and chant. Oh, 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 be in the same state for 1 minute. Now slowly open your eyes. So, as per Bhagavad Purana, this is how we have to practice meditation as per Shuka Muni, and you do it every day, and that will give a lot of solace, isn't it? Did it cool down your mind, calm down your mind? How was the experience? ಇಂದಿರಾ ಹೆಂಗ ಅನಿಸ್ತು? ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೂದಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ,
Very soothing, yes. Relaxing also.
ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್.
Mhm.
So, regular meditation also, there are so many methods of meditation. But here, this is the one where it's easier, I felt. Similar, same thing has been taught to us in Ramakrishna Mission also. Similar, there are some more steps there. So, this is how you have to meditate. And why he says, I don't know if you people can uh, imagine or conceptualize what I'm saying now. So, he says, uh, why we are meditating on this form is one of the theories Allah. This is what Shukamuni himself has told, that the entire world, if you entire universe is represented in his cosmic form. If you consider Krishna as two hands, two legs, as we progress, no, as we progress in spiritual line, initially we will contemplate him like this in our heart with the image of what I said. The next step would be to see, visualize that in just like Vishwarupa in Bhagavad Gita. Here he says, he brings this one, that all the lokas are located in Krishna's cosmic form, Vishnu or Krishna, whatever you find him there. What are those? He says there are 7 lokas below this bhuloka, 7 lokas above. Uh, in his cosmic form, if you start from the leg, he says the feet represent, the sole of the feet represents Patala. Patala loka is the lowest loka. We'll discuss the significance of this. Patala loka is under his feet. Rasatala is heel and the ankle. Patala, next come Rasatala, Mahatala, dorsum of the foot. That means the foot lower thing is called sole, that is Patala. Then heel and the ankle is Rasatala. Dorsum is called Mahatala. Then the leg between the knee and the ankle, foreleg, is called Talatala. Then knees are called Sutala. Then Atala, Vitala are the thighs. So if you imagine the cosmic form, the universe is huge. We are talking about one universe. There are multiple universes. Brahmanda antandre multiverse. Now they also say, the NASA people and astrophysicists also have told we have multiple universes. If you imagine one universe also, this is how it is. He says his cosmic form, we have everything below his groin. The legs represent Patala. Then the groin or the hips represent Bhuloka. That is our Prithvi. And then we have 7 lokas above Prithvi. Then we have Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka. 7 lokas above. Where are they? Bhuloka is in the groin or the hip. Bhuvarloka, his abdomen. And Swargaloka in his chest. Maharloka in his neck. Janaloka on his face. Tapoloka on his forehead. Satyaloka on his head. So, the Bhagavad Puranics, what they are trying to tell the human, all of us, people like us, is that the entire thing is, his body represents the entire universe, and this is how they are located. So this to some extent makes it easy for us to contemplate. So otherwise also, what do these lokas represent? This is just a general distribution of these lokas along his body, anatomical distribution. Otherwise, it means that all the lokas are in him. Patalana onde, Bhulokana onde, Swargalokana onde, everything is in him. Though we call the Mahatala, Patala, Vella, they are all Papishtra Loka antadu, sinners Loka. But they are present in him only. It is his creation. And he has accepted everything. It is his creation. And he has nothing to do with that. Based on people's karma, there are people residing in these different lokas. People who are on earth have the ability to evolve either to the lokas above or to the lokas below. And it is the opportunity given only when people live on earth. Even the Deva Devatas, no, they cannot directly go to, they cannot get realization. They have to come to earth, do sadhana, and then they will get spiritually liberated. What is the meaning of this? See, when we do good deeds, no, people have different ambitions. Some people want sukha. Very few. Why do we do good? Why should we do good? ಇವಾಲ್ವ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೆಚುರಿಟಿ ಇದ್ದವರು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಒಳ್ಳೇದ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ದ ವೇದಿಕ್ ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸ್ ನೋ, ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ start like this, do some sacrifices, do some yajna so that you get swargaloka. Two things: one is people want immediate benefits, so Vedic ritual started like that. It is also for a reason that some of them, as they get united with deva devatas, they develop bhakti. So that could be one of the early steps of developing great bhakti towards God. So in any case, if a man thinks of smaller benefits, no, I want to enjoy life after my death also, my atma should go and end my body, this sukshma sharira, it will not, they will not think about realization. I should enjoy Swargaloka. What is there in Swargaloka or Devata Loka? What is there? Indra, Rudra, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಪ್ಸರೆಯರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Happiness is there. More than anything, they were not, they don't suffer. This is physical Swargaloka I'm talking about, which people say they do exist. So you'll go there. And how long you'll be there? If you do good karma, you'll be there as long as you enjoy the benefits of your good karma. Once they're over, then again you come back to this Prithvi, and then the same suffering, Agami karma, Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, everything will start. You will exhaust that, and then you will come back. Again, you will enter into the cycle of birth and death. Few people, they say, I don't want this. I just want God realize. Mukti ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ, ವೈಕುಂಠಕ್ಕರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತೆ. ಪರ್ಮನೆಂಟ್ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸೇಷನ್. ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರಮ ಮುಕ್ತಿ. ಕ್ರಮ ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಇಸ್ you go to Brahmaloka or Vaikuntha, wherever, be there for a while, and from there you get totally liberated and become one with the Parabrahman. The details of that we'll discuss later in the later chapters. So in any case, Shuka now comes to this point that you must keep meditating and understand that the entire universe is present in his body. Even if you imagine Parabrahma to be like a human having all these attributes, hands, legs, like that, this is how it is. This is to depict that the entire universe is his, in him. And then also, I will not go into those details. They say, where is Indra, where is Varuna, where are they located? I kannalli yaru irtare, kaiyalli yaru irtare, deva devatas, they will say. But what I want to insist here is, he says, man is his abode. Man is his abode. Andre, Manusha, Manujo Nivasaha. Everything he says, Indra is in his arms, ante. And then he says, Kimiyalli Dig Devategalu. That description will not go into that. But finally, Manujo, man is his abode. That means he enters human as his own abode, and the house. He is housed in man. Imagine, he is housed in us. We are ignorant not to see him, not real, but he has kept all that Maya Prakriti which comes in between our mind and him. So as we start clearing layer by layer through our meditation or good deeds, slowly that he will reveal to us, and the whole exercise of this is meant for that. So this will, so therefore he says, and then one more he has told, which should be taken in a different, right perspective. Brahmana is his face, Kshatriya arms, Vaishya thighs, Shudra feet. So this is how it is distributed. Probably Brahmana means knowledge, Kshatriya means to fight, therefore arm, Vaishya is thigh, that means to do some good, business, so agriculture and all that they say. Shudra is feet, because not much of thinking, doing as told. That is the definition of Shudra, doing as told. Because I'm telling you, it's not hierarchical, it is based on the profession and their skill. So this is what he says, and then he says, worship such God, and that this is how you have to worship. And chapter 1 gets over. Now in the chapter 2, little more deeper, interesting about meditation also, and about pranayama and chakras. I have summarized this. We will take up a little bit because already we are reading. So he says, through dharana. Dharana is extremely important. And he says Vedic rituals will describe different lokas, which we have described just now. Man is likely to get carried away. When you start, you siktada, swarga siktada, okay, let me go and come. But a real jnani, really person who's a true devotee will not yield to these those days it was Vedic era only. Vedic rituals ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ. So you have to discriminate and not be attached, not be asking for such comfort. Illi beautiful description he gives. See, when a spiritual aspirant, highest stage Shuka is taking, of course, because he is the highest Jnani and Parikshita is already detached now. So he says, which applies for us also. And in fact, it's a great, you can really think about it. He says, why you should look for comforts. Adan helta heltane. He'll start enumerating them. So, why do you struggle and ask for a comfortable bed when Mother Earth is a bed only? Why do you ask? A spiritual aspirant, that means he should not be asking. If you see, so many companies are coming with different beds now, spring beds, double bed, bed. What are those different varieties? Because we purchased recently, and I was also thinking, correct alwa, ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಹುಡುಕ್ತಿವಿ, ಹೋಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, comfort ಇರಬೇಕು, and so many things we just keep breaking our head. Online ತಗೋಬೇಕಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾ. He says, simple ನೆಲದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲ್ಕೋಬಾರ್ದಾ? Your goal is to realize God. Of course, that automatically comes when we evolve so much. So he says, mother bed is there. So there is no need for comfortable bed, gaddi, adella ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿ. Why you need pillows when you have arms? ಅಂತಾರೆ ಶುಕ. ಕೈಯನ್ನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಲ್ಕೋಬಹುದಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ you see, the nature and God has given us so many things by which we can aramse lead a life on this planet without actually asking for comforts. But we have got conditioned so much, very difficult. Leave alone bed. We will not be able to sleep on someone else's bed also, isn't it? Namgadine, nam jagane namak saripa, na berevar manige hodre we cannot adjust. That is what we say. And it's a fact. Whenever you go out, no, even today, some 10 days, 15 days, I will be just longing to come back to my home and sleep on my bed. This is a kind of, attachment, raga dvesha, as we are talking about. Why do you want vessels and cups and all he is saying? When you have palm ante, to eat food, plates beka nimge, because avagu ನಾವು ರಾಜರಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. So Shuka is saying, why do you need cups and this one? Vessels, no need. Kaile kudiri, kaile uta madri. This is what it is. Why do you need clothes when the bark of the trees can be put around your body? Ante. So beautifully he says, so, and why should you cook? Fruits are there. Trees are giving you so many fruits. Just go after. Maybe this was suitable at that point of time. But if somebody goes to a forest and actually, leads a life, we may not be doing this much. There is no need for us to get into that level. But at least this will give us some guidance to, minimize our requirements. We can take it like that. Minimize your requirements. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಈಗ ಮುಗಿ ಜಗ್ಗಾಡೋದ್ ಬೇಡ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮನೇಲಂತೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಇದನ್ನ ತರ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನೋ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕಂಫರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್. When we should remember these and try to let go of certain things which is not possible. ಇದೇ ಪಾತ್ರೆ ಬೇಕು, ಇದೇ ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಸೈಜ್ ಅದೇ ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಕಂಪನಿದೇ ಬೇಕು. Not required, because we are in the spiritual path. So what best minimum basic, we are living in a society. See, this was time when Vedic thing. We should also see the yuga dharma ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ we cannot be like a you cannot be an odd man. You cannot be an odd man. We have to blend with the system which is happening. But at the same time, we should not be too particular, because that will lead to again anger, reactions, if it's not fulfilled. So that's not required. If it is possible, you can, but detachment has to be practiced. Then he says, again he has repeated, meditate on the God, keep him in the heart, and imagine calm face, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. Keep meditating. And one good thing is, this is exactly, I took this during meditation. He says, keep meditating on each part of the Lord so that your mind does not get deviated. And this, if you practice continuously, ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, then one develops great devotion, and the minute you close your eyes, he will appear, his image will appear. He sits there. ಭಕ್ತ ಧ್ರುವ ಧ್ರುವ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತದ ಅವ್ನು ಧ್ರುವನ್ ಕಥೆ. ಅವನು 5 ವರ್ಷದವನಿದ್ದಾಗ ತಪಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅವ್ನ ಕಾಡಿಗೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಇನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಮ್. ಸೊ ದ ವೇ ಹಿ ಡಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತಾನಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಶ್ಚಕ್ಷುನಿಂದ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಈಸ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಓಪನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಐಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ಲಿ, ದ ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಐಸ್, God reveals his face. You will be focusing on your heart, that is spiritual heart, of course, but located around that place only. So he manifests. It becomes automatic. So that is how um, a, a true devotee will practice his meditation. All the while we were talking about chanting, we talked about Harer Nama, we Maha Mantra. Shuka nodri, Shuka is an extremely knowledgeable person who has seen, who has realized the absolute, and yet he is propounding bhakti. And the way he has told meditation is something very, very unique. And based on this, all the different types of meditations have evolved for a bhakti margi person who is following bhakti marga and focusing on the sakara rupa, or a person absolute form, the God with the form. So how does next one session is on how does a yogi give up his body? ಅದು ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ. ಹೌ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೌ ಡಸ್ ಅ ಯೋಗಿ ಗಿವ್ ಅಪ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯೋಗಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದ ಎಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಎನರ್ಜೀಸ್ and then release through what is called Brahmarandra. First, again, he will do a pranayama. He is expert in pranayama posture, and then he restrains the mind and intellect. And when the time comes, when he knows this body has to leave Andaga, he will not let abrupt release of the soul. He will control the release of the soul from his body. All of us know that this body is living because there is a soul inside that, and that soul has a mantle of, there's a jivatma. Paramatmana amshane jivatma. Adu, it is trapped in ahankara, manasu, buddhi, everything. So when the body dies, the soul with the jivatma, with all its covering, sukshma sharira, ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ. Ordinarily that leaves the body and then goes to different lokas depending on its karma, and then takes birth in another jiva if it is not realized. This yogi, what he will do, he will press his ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ರಿ, last session, another 10 minutes here. So he will sit, he will press the anus with his heel. Anus is the external where we excrete. So there he presses the heel, and because the energy should not go, the soul should not, he will close that. Allinda hogbardante. If the soul leaves the body through that, ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪಾಪಿಗಳ ಜನ್ಮ ಅಂತೆ, ಪಾತಾಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು. So he will press that, and then he will control his prana and apana. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಅಪಾನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, these are vital energies in the body. As per Ayurveda, Ayurveda describes the science ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ complex ಇದೆ, understand ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We have 5 vayus. Prana is the main thing. It has 10 manifestations, but mainly 5. Prana, apana, udana, samana, vyana. We must understand this because it's described here and it is part of our body. And if we control this prana, pranayama andre yama antandre control and taking control. Prana is a energy. So human body's functions is dictated by the flow of this prana or energies. And I was listening to Sadhguru's lecture today for this pranayam also. So he says the energies, the henga flow ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, Ayurvedic theory, medical science, modern theory ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು. We have circulatory system, we have respiratory system. But the energy concept is given in Ayurveda, and what they say is the body, every body has a unique flow which is detected in the nadi. Nadi Vijnana andre highly evolved ante adu. Nadi Vijnana. Nadi is not pulse. They have a different way, through pulse only, but they will measure of what category you are. Vata, Pitta, Kapha and all are detected through Nadi. So prana and its circulation. Okay. So these are, prana is energy that regulates, for, since doctors are here, prana is a physiological energy that regulates the physiological process of inspiration. Inspiration ಒಳಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್. ದಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ the heart, it's not only the lungs, heart, respiratory system, nerves, I mean, all the nerves, muscles, functions, diaphragm, everything. Apana is that which regulates the downward movement, that regulates the liver, kidney, and excretion also. And samana is assimilation and distribution. That means nutrition, absorption. Udana is that controls the head and neck. That means posture. So look at these energies. Vyana is which regulates all the body movements. It's present everywhere. Very beautiful. Prana is here. Apana is in the abdomen. It regulates the digestion also and downward movement also. Peristalsis also. Samana is absorption. Udana is head and neck. Vyana everywhere. So, iga Bhagavad Purana, so Shuka ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, person first regulates his prana, and Indra, your favorite topic, he moves his vital energies, all these bit by bit, from Mooladhara to Manipura. ಚಕ್ರಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಇವತ್ತು ಬಂತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಯೋಗ. ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ to Manipura to Anahata, Vishuddhi. What does it mean? The body. We will stop here after we just mention this, because little more is there, but we need some time. So the energies are there in the body. They are regulated individually by the evolution. What is this evolution? How much a person can control these energies? That's why they say, and if a person has complete control, then they say he's psychologically very fit, and his body systems are also under control. Therefore, pranayama is given so much of importance. And I believe all this Sudarshan Kriya I have not explored, or inner engineering. These are all the techniques. And one more is Sri Vidya. All these techniques, probably they focus on controlling these energies, which can make a person take control of his emotions as well as physical body. The body has got these chakras. What are those? Mooladhara, that is located at the base of the spine. And actually Kundalini locates there. And once the Kundalini is awakened, that means our inner energies are opened up. It lies latent, actually, base of the spine. Some of them correspond to our plexuses, neuronal plexuses. Next time we can discuss that. So that is indicated now. Then as you go up, Swadhisthana Chakra, they're all present from lower to higher, I'm saying. Swadhisthana is located 2 fingertips above Mooladhara. It's concerned with genital function and sense of taste. Mooladhara is located and associated with excretion and sense of smell. Then comes Anahata Chakra. Manipura Chakra, sorry. Manipura. This is behind the navel. And Ichha Shakti, slightly more evolved. As you move from the lower chakra to higher chakra, what does it mean? That means our consciously, if we where we fix our mind, that decides the evolution of this person. So when you concentrate on Manipura, it indicates the Ichha Shakti and sense of, it starts movement, act of movements. Next is Anahata, which is there in the heart. If you are evolved and if your consciousness is elevated to that level, then you will develop compassion, love, oneness with others, that philanthropic, or what I should call it as altruistic thinking. That comes with Anahata. Then comes Vishuddhi. Vishuddhi Chakra is throat. So here higher discrimination, creativity, adella bartade. Then comes Ajna Chakra, between the brows. So here it is called third eye. That means you can perceive something which others do not. You can perceive some things which others do not. You have evolved so much. And last one is Sahasrara Chakra, that is in the crown of the head. So these yogis, what they do now, in relation to the significance of these, the first, second and third, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, up to the navel, they ground us. And that when we fix our mind there, we are still thinking of surviving andre I should survive, insecurity irtade, I thrive to survive. So avaga mind aa level alle iddaga ishte irtade namdu. Our objectives are limited to survival, desire and identity. I must have an identity, therefore I'll keep working. Quite a rajasika guna iddange. Third and fourth, that is Anahata and Vishuddha Chakra, early cosmic awakening. From I, we move to V ante. Anahata chakra is heart. No, heart is not only for the love and affection towards our andre spouse or children. Hangala. It's more expansion. We become more, inclusive of people. And then 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7 is Vishuddhi Chakra, Ajna Chakra, Sahasrara Chakra. This is ignition to self mastery, control, third eye, and then the great yogis would have reached the final one, that is Sahasrara. ಆ ಸಹಸ್ರಾರದಿಂದ ಯೋಗಿ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಜೀವ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ he gradually controls them. These are all in our medical science involuntary, controlled by autonomic nervous system. But a yogi has a control through his prana. Because of his regular practice, he has that control, and therefore he is able to release that soul from, he goes to Sahasrara and releases from what is called Brahma Randrang. So there it gets released. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಲೋಕ ಅಥವಾ ತಪೋಲೋಕ, they can go to that loka. This is how great saints and sages, and maybe many in the what I should say, if you see those sadhus, no, ಕುಂಭಮೇಳ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದೇ ಒಂದು they are all sadhakರು. They are all they are practicing it rather. They may be trying to gain control over. So much is there. Namdu Indian scriptures have given us great thoughts like this, extraordinary thoughts wherein man can have mastery on his own body and he himself can regulate. So you ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ comforts ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ now we are not focusing on our own evolution, our body, our mind, and it is a big challenge to control your prana or vital energies, they're called. In a worldly life, such an effort towards yoga is one of the greatest method to achieve all this. So this can be productive in the day-to-day life also. But anyway, a person who is spiritual seeker is not concerned much about these petty benefits of day-to-day life. However, it will make our day-to-day life easy also, because psychological well-being which it brings will help us to adapt to any situation, any time of distress, and then we move on. So we must take advantage of this control of these vital energy in both the ways. One is for spiritual sadhana, another is for psychological well-being, because unless our surroundings are in harmony, we cannot progress either in our profession or in the spiritual path. Shukacharya ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ರು ಬರೆದಿದ್ರು. That book has played a big role in my life. You can win ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು Shukacharya is a motivational speaker also, he writes. In that he says, that was a big lesson I learned. First, keep everything, all your insecurities, all your conflicts within yourself and with people around. Settle that, and then move in your professional life. And exactly I followed that, because I was very ambitious, very career minded. But in that process, I felt unless you settle the other things, it will keep bothering you. And it is a big stress to manage both. You are moving in your career, you are trying to settle the things. No. So give us gap, settle down the other things first, be calm, and then go forward. So that was a thing. So this kind of approach to, having this kind of control through meditation, through pranayama, I think that will go in a big way. So ivattu ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ we have gone into depths. So ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋ ಅಥವಾ Manjula is there? Manjula, can you sing a song? Prepared? Are you prepared? Otherwise, I will sing a simple Krishnana ಹಾಡು. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕಿದು. ಕೇಳಿರಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಾನಿ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ, ಅದು ಹೇಳಿಕ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋಣ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು we have seen his form in our meditation. Krishnani begane baro, Krishnani begane baro, begane baro, mukhavanne toro, Krishnani begane baro. ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಕಣ ಕಣ ಬೆರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಗುರ ಕರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಕಣ ಬೆರಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಂಗುರ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ವೈಜಯಂತಿ ಮಾಲಾ ಕೊರಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ವೈಜಯಂತಿ ಮಾಲಾ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಕಾಶಿ ಪೀತಾಂಬರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳಲ್ ಹಿಡಿದು ಕಾಶಿ ಪೀತಾಂಬರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಳಲ್ ಹಿಡಿದು ಪೂಸಿದ ಶ್ರೀಗಂಧ ಮೈಯೊಳಗಮ್ಮ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗವನ್ನು ತೋರಿದ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗವನ್ನು ತೋರಿದ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರಕ ನಮ್ಮ ಉಡುಪಿಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಮುಖವನ್ನೇ ತೋರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ನೀ ಬೇಗನೆ ಬಾರೋ.
Very nice, Prativasa.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
After time, yeah. Questions we can take or discussions. Anybody? Anything,
But
Indira?
has
Yes.
Shuka told about how to activate all these chakras?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I don't know. In future chapters, I am also reading. Mostly ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ.
Okay.
Ah.
And how to identify how to
Correct.
identify if it is blocked and how to activate the chakras.
Yeah, correct. But generally, they say yogasana, pranayama, meditation, and japa, they will activate. These are the ಕೆಲವು gems ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಪ್ಪ. Some, of course, I don't believe in those external. It's all self effort. But yogasana and yoga also. ಯೋಗಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯಾಮ is integral part ಅಲ್ವಾ? They teach very good pranayama. So those techniques and japa and meditation, regular meditation with combined with pranayama, of course, and posture, as he said. And see, because what happens, yeah, these are all the things that do activate. Now, if all of us who have assembled here, if I say, to some extent we are activated. It is not that we are not. We have already moved to some extent. When your mind starts moving towards altruism, helping people, it has crossed that. We are no longer in. See, lowest is what? Like animal behavior. The lowest ಮೂಲಾಧಾರ ಒಳಗ genital organs, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ bodily functions. So that if we have got a control, it invariably, I mean, it's a very logical thing saying that it has moved from one step to, we might not have reached Sahasrara, but we have moved from the lower 1 to even 3, definitely. But I will get a confirmation from my Guruji how to identify our growth anta bekidre I will check. But definitely the meditation and pranayama and yoga, these are set to